10. What's going on, guys? It's Landon from the Snap coming at you for week 2 of the fantasy football season. Getting ready for a start-sit show. So I hope everyone's having a good time here, and we are ready for week 2. I'm going to jump in the chat here, and we'll get things figured out. What's up, Easy? What's up, Chris? Y'all are here as always. It's just me solo today, so I could definitely use your help with today's start sit. Hopefully y'all are having a good time. Yeah, we've got some good stuff coming up today. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll get things going here. If you're part of our community but not a part of our Discord, make sure to check out the link in the episode description and join our Discord community. It's a ton of fun. We've got one person watching right now. That is it. That's okay, boys. We are in it for the long haul. It's 11:30. Make sure you let me know if the stream is doing okay. It looks a little bit choppy, a little bit slow right now. Check to see if my audio is good. Let's see here. I'm going to switch over. Perfect. All right, guys, ready to rock here. Let's see, how's my audio? How's my choppiness? Can you guys let me know in the chat, and we'll get things going. We've got some good matchups this week. Make sure to comment below or comment in the chat any start set questions, and we will get things going. Right now, there's no start sets. I'm going to get to some of the big inactives for week 2. Let's see here. Let's go to Adam Schefter and get some inactives and actives for this week. We have players expected to play this week. We have Eric Ebron, Peyton Barber, that's supposed to be the starter in Las Vegas. Trey Sermon has been activated. We have Zach Ertz, Eric Fisher, Quentin Nelson, AJ Brown, Gabriel Davis, Zach Moss is activated as well. Players out for this week. Odell Beckham out again. Deshaun Watson is a healthy scratch. Will Fuller with that questionable personal issue. Josh Jacobs is out. Marcus Mariota, Xavier Rhodes, Anthony Barr, Everson Griffin, Christian Darrisaw. We have some notable outs right now. Looks like the stream's a little bit choppy, guys. I'll see if I can get that figured out. I'm going to close this there. Hopefully that's better. Jeff, thanks for coming in. Austin, thank you for coming in. You guys, we have 8 people watching. Thanks for coming in. Make sure to like this video. If you're new to the channel, we are giving away a Dalvin Cook signed jersey to one lucky Discord or one lucky YouTube membership. Oh man, Supreme Paz coming in here with the super chat. Man, you are incredible again. I started playing fantasy football back in high school. I remember vividly, I was driving, you know what, I must have been in college then. I was driving back and I took Peyton Manning in the first round because I thought he was such a positional advantage back then. I knew nothing back in the day. I remember playing in a free league on Yahoo with strangers. I think I drafted DeMarco Murray. That was my bell cow running back for the Dallas Cowboys. I never really got into fantasy football until I joined a big 16-team league auction draft channel. So that's when I really got in. I said, I'm not going to put so much time and effort in a fantasy league unless I am in it. So I tried to consume as much content as I could. It's been now 6 or 7 years since I joined that league. I remember it was all about the rookies. I drafted Sterling Shepard when he was a rookie, thinking that was the way to go. My keepers that league, when I first entered that league, was Gronk and Des Bryant, and they were also positional advantages. So that is that's kind of when I started. So thank you, Supreme Pads. You are an absolute beauty, coming in again with the super chat. I do want to mention, any member of our YouTube members has a chance to win a Dalvin Cook jersey. So it's only $5 a month if you want to be our YouTube member. And there's only a handful of guys in our YouTube membership. So you have a really good chance to win a signed Dalvin Cook jersey. That it's only $5 a month, like a cup of coffee from Starbucks. And supports the guys. You join in our private Discord server and you just support the boys. So thank you so much. It's humbling for you to donate that kind of money again. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you so much. All right, Trevor R., thank you, sir. I'm a big fan of you. He's got Waddle, Julio, or Hines in the flex. I would still probably go Julio over Waddle this week. They have a good matchup, so I think Julio is in line for a bounce-back game. I do like Waddle a lot, especially with Will Fuller out. Big fan of Jalen Waddle. I'm playing him a lot of DraftKings lineups and DFS lineups. He got in the end zone last week. He looks great. They're going to manufacture touches for Jalen Waddle. And Hines is going to be safe too, but I think I go Julio. There's a 0.25 points for first down. I don't think that really makes a big difference to me. I think Julio has a bounce back week. Jeremy is in the chat asking about Claypool or Callaway. I would go with Chase Claypool as well. Big Ben didn't look good week 1. I hope his arm is okay, but I think that Claypool is the right way to go. I'm a big fan of Chase Claypool. Callaway, I think, has a bounce back game. A lot of people overdrafted Marcus Callaway this year, but I prefer the talent of Chase Claypool. He's a guy that can really break open any play. He's that big body, DK Metcalf style, AJ Brown style guy that can take a slant to the house. Mace is coming in here in a full PPR league. Would you take out Justin Jefferson, Al Robinson, or Brandon Cooks for Jamal Williams at the flex? No, Mace, I like your starts. The big question is Brandon Cooks over Jamal Williams. Brandon Cooks is probably one of the most disrespected wide receivers in the NFL, and it's using a bad offense. I do think Jamal Williams provides a little bit of a safer floor than Brandon Cooks, but it's a full PPR league. I still think DeAndre Swift is going to be the starter. I'm looking at Mac here. The mic sounds great. I am wired up. Yes, my internet is wired, but it looks really choppy, guys. Sorry about that. Hopefully we're looking okay here for that. Sorry about the choppiness on my internet. All right, guys, let's see what else we got going here. Easy in the chat. He has one quarterback standard scoring, Jameis Winston or Baker Mayfield. I would go with Baker Mayfield easy. And Jeff is talking about this here. Matchup is against Eric Zubert. So I feel like, feel free to throw in some shade. Need to start 3. Cup, Lamb, Julio, Landry, Juju. I also rank them there. Feeling good about Julio. Jeff, you're going to whoop Easy's butt, no question, with those wide receivers. Cup and Lamb are auto starts. The rest are the question marks. Juju, Landry. Yeah, it's close. I'm feeling okay about Juju this week. I don't mind him. I don't mind him at all. It's just going to be. I think Landry has a good bounce back game as well. All your 3 other wide receivers are very safe guys. Somewhat limited upside, but all with kind of upside built in on their own. I mean, Julio can be Julio. It's hard to disrespect him. He should be good early on in this season. Landry without Odell should get a ton of targets in a plus matchup. And Juju Smith-Schuster, although he's kind of feels like a shadow of himself. He's not what he was back with Antonio Brown with the Steelers. I still think Juju's going to be fine. It's just it basically hinges on Big Ben and his arm. So so that's going to be kind of the. I think it's a little bit of a toss up in my rankings. Let's see. I should consult my rankings here, Jeff. I think I would have. Man, I actually just took Julio outside of my top 24. Yeah, it's going to be close with those guys. They're all kind of flex plays this week. So that's kind of where I think I go Julio Jones against Seattle in a hopefully bounce back game, but it's very, very close, Jeff. Either way, you're going to beat easy, no question. Mike K in the chat. What's up, Mike K? Make sure to like and subscribe. Jacob's in the chat too. Thanks guys for coming in. He's got Debo or DJ Moore. Nervous to play Debo. Is it risky? Both are good questions. I do have DJ Moore ranked a little bit higher than Debo Samuel. I like Debo a lot against a plus matchup against at Philadelphia. DJ Moore is in an okay matchup versus New Orleans, but I think I would go DJ Moore, but it's super close. Debo's not going to have that kind of bounce back, or that kind of big game, especially with Ayuk back in the starting role. So I would go DJ Moore. He should get more targets than Debo Samuel, but it's super, super close, Mike. But if you're nervous to play Debo, then I think you go with the safe play and go DJ Moore. Austin, need my Arby's to have a bounce back week. Najee, Henry, step it up. Carson didn't play bad. Oh, man, those guys are locked and loaded. Najee, I love in a bounce back game. I also like Henry in a bounce back game. Carson played good. He should have a very safe role in that offense. He looked phenomenal. Jacob, pick 2. Sutton, Cooks, Corey Davis. Tough one. I think Sutton, oh man, I do like Sutton. I think I lean him slightly over Brandon Cooks, even though Brandon Cooks had that big week 1. I really hope Sutton has a bounce back week. I'm really banking on that. He should be the number 1 wide receiver without Jerry Jeudy hurt. Corey Davis, I think you ride. I mean, if you want to ride the hot hand, you go Cooks and Corey. And let Sutton prove it to you that he is truly, indeed, the number 1 wide receiver in that offense. So kind of a safer floor. You go with your 2 guys that had a good week 1. The Jets have a tough matchup again. I think Corey Davis is going to be fine against New England. It's a tougher matchup. But, so I have Cortland Sutton ranked higher in a better matchup. And then, so I would go Brandon Cooks. And, oh, man, that's really close. You're making me tilt already, and it's only 11:42, Jacob. It's 11:42, and I'm already tilting about a answer here. I think it's hard to go wrong with these guys in a full PPR league. Let's go with Sutton and Corey Davis, my dude. Sutton and Corey Davis. Supreme Paz, my new favorite listener and subscriber. He's an absolute beauty. Robert Tonyan, Jared Cook, or Cole Kmet. He's got Miles Sanders, Elijah Mitchell, Ayuk, or Tyson at the flex. Holy, you've got a locked and loaded team. You have a great squad here. So at the tight end position, I have Robert Tonyan the highest. I do think that Jared Cook is in a good matchup, and I'm playing him a lot on my stacks on DraftKings with the Chargers. But I would go Robert Tonyan at the tight end position, and then a PPR at the running back spot. Man, if you picked up Elijah Mitchell from waivers, I think you got to start him. You do have a really good option in Miles Sanders, though. So this is I think you can sit on Ayuk because you have such a good squad, Supreme. I think you sit on Ayuk and make him earn those targets back. So especially if you're favored in this matchup, you just need a safe floor. I think Miles Sanders. You don't want to really start 2 49ers. Oh man, this is tough. I go Miles Sanders slightly over Elijah Mitchell, but if you just picked him up, all reports are saying Elijah Mitchell should get the full share of that workload. I do think Trey Sermon is going to be used more than we would hope, especially for fantasy owners that picked up Elijah Mitchell. So I think If you're favored in this matchup and you got a locked and loaded team, it looks like you do. Miles Sanders is the flex play. If you need an upside play and hope Elijah Mitchell is the real deal, you go Mitchell in the flex. And then Ayuk is the pure biggest upside play because we've seen what he can do last year. But I'm going to sit down Tyson out of that, guys, for sure, because of the mix in of Latavius Murray for the Baltimore Ravens. Jacob, it's all good, man. I like the tilt. I appreciate the questions. Thanks for coming out this week. Again, Jeff's in there. No problem, my dude. We've got AEM Bot. He says, pick 2. Half PPR, Jarvis Landry, Jamar Chase, and Mike Davis. So my sit from that list is going to be Mike Davis. I'm going to sit down Mike Davis. You go with Landry and Jamar Chase. I like those guys a lot. Mike Davis is the sit of the week for me. They're in a really tough matchup. At Tampa Bay, I'm not thrilled at all about the Tampa Bay matchup, so I'm sitting down Mike Davis. Thank you for the question. Make sure to like and subscribe. We have 10 or 8 people watching, whatever it is. Thanks for coming by, guys. It's me holding down the fort. Mac is in the comments. Scotty is in Toronto, working on watching those Blue Jays in Toronto. So producer Scott is normally with us hammering Twitter, but he is not. Hopefully my boy Easy is on Twitter, getting in there. If you're new to the channel and you want to support the boys, we do have a YouTube membership. And one lucky member of that YouTube membership is going to win a signed Dalvin Cook jersey. So right now, there's only a handful of guys in the YouTube membership, and it's only $5 a month. So really, for the full season, what is it? 5 months. So I mean, really, it's $25 for the year, maybe $30 for the boys, and you have a chance to win a signed Dalvin Cook jersey. I think that's worth it. Bobby's in the chat. What's up, Bobby? Thanks for coming in. If you want to support the boys, join the YouTube membership and win that Dalvin Cook signed jersey. That'll be wicked. JJ is in the chat here. Thanks for coming by, JJ. We also have Jacob asking another question, so I should get to Jacob first. Full PPR. He's got Kenyon Drake, Elijah Mitchell, James Robinson. Pick one. I'm going Elijah Mitchell out of that deal, man. I'm going to sit down Kenyon Drake and James Robinson, especially with the report that Peyton Barber is starting for the Raiders. James Robinson is in a tough matchup as well. He's one of my sits of the week. Thanks. Thanks, JJ. Liked and sub. AEM Bot, liked and sub. You guys are beauties. Appreciate you come by every week. We also have a Discord, guys. So if you're still in the chat, we have a Discord. It's free. You have some fun interactions with some like-minded guys. We've got some beauties like Easy, like Dynasty Nate, Austin in there. Everyone's coming in. We're helping out everyone. And it's a ton of fun. We have a game day chat. We can talk about trades and Dynasty, redraft, anything like that. So JJ is asking, it's a non-PPR league. Do I start Miles Sanders and Antonio Brown at the flex? That's a really close one because it's a non-PPR. You don't get those bonuses for receptions. The running back definitely has the advantage. I think Antonio Brown is in a really good spot as well. So I'm gonna lean Miles Sanders in that matchup, JJ. So both are really good. I think that Kenneth Gainwell stole that touchdown from Miles Sanders last week. I don't think he's going to be the goal line back in Philadelphia. San Francisco gave up a ton of yards and points to the Detroit Lions. I would think that the Philadelphia Eagles are the real deal. We need to see this. Mac is not a believer in the Philadelphia Eagles, but if they put up some big points, Jalen Hurts looks good. Miles Sanders looks good. These guys are going to be locked and loaded starters all week. But Antonio Brown is as safe as it gets in a super plus matchup against Atlanta. So it's really close. I've got Miles Sanders inside my top 20 running backs, and Antonio Brown is right around that fringe wide receiver 2, almost a sure flex spot. So yeah, I would go Miles Sanders, but it's super, super close. It's almost a coin flip, JJ. But thanks for coming by. Appreciate you coming in. You're joining the community, the Snap community, and we love to have you here. Supreme Pass coming in. I feel like Aaron Jones and Najee Harris are always my must starts. So I don't know if Miles Sanders and Elijah are the choice. He's already 1-0. Yeah, you start Miles Sanders and Najee. That I get that week 1 was not good for either Najee and Aaron Jones, but you got to start him. I really, really, really like Najee this week. I think he's going to come back And we're gonna see if the Green Bay Packers are the real deal as well, and they're willing to put their nose to the ground and really bust out some wins. I think Aaron Rodgers has a good bounce back week as well. I love your two starters, Aaron Jones and Najee. You're gonna be 1-1 after this week, Paz, and you'll be good, no question, man. Aaron Jones and Najee are bounce back. Roddy Raymond coming in with the chat. Thanks for coming by, Roddy. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I haven't seen your name before, so thanks for coming in. Brandon Cooks and Corey Davis at the flex. That's a tough one. I mean, Brandon Cooks, I talked about earlier, is one of the most disrespected wide receivers in the league, always. Corey Davis had a good week one. Now, let's see. Is that a half PPR league, Roddy? So let me know in the chat if that is a half PPR league. Brandon Cooks plays Cleveland. Corey Davis plays New England, so it's a tougher matchup for Corey Davis. It seems like Corey Davis is the number one receiver in that offense. I think it's going to be tough for Zach Wilson. So I think I go Brandon Cooks. Even though he's one of my kind of sits of the week, I think I go Brandon Cooks. He's got Swift or Jamal Williams at RB2. I would go with Swift for sure. I like Swift. I mean, it's good to roster both of them. I think Jamal Williams is a consideration at flex, but if you have DeAndre Swift, he's still the number one. Roddy's coming in again saying Jamal Williams, Noah Fant, Beasley, or Pittman at the flex. I would probably go Beasley if it's a PPR league. Hey, salute. You like the little army guy coming in? Salute for Roddy coming in and subscribing. Thanks a lot, guys. Supreme Paz coming in again. He's got Jameis Winston, Tannehill, or Teddy B. Been streaming quarterbacks until Fields announced as the starter. Man, I'm a big fan of Justin Fields. It's a full PPR league. Okay. I would go Tannehill for a bounce back week. I think that's where I would go. Jameis Winston only had 20 attempts, 14 completions. So I would definitely go with Tannehill for a bounce back week. Thank you, Easy, for on Twitter doing his part as the Snap Army. Love it, guys. Thanks for coming in. So I do think that Corey Davis does get more targets than Brandon Cooks, but it's close. Brandon Cooks going to be efficiency, deep ball. He's still a very good wide receiver. So, yeah, Brandon Cooks over Corey Davis. In your flex spot, Roddy, I would go I would still go Beasley in a full PPR. It's a really plus matchup. I think that Josh Allen has a massive bounce back week. I think he's looking really, really good to have a bounce back week against Miami. They always play Miami well, and Beasley is a PPR machine. So, JJ, okay, how about moving Sanders to RB2 and choosing between Clyde Edwards or AB? Yeah, Clyde Edwards is a tough one. I think I would still go Clyde over. I think you just sit down Antonio Brown, which is tough because I think he's a really good wide receiver again, and he's the kind of guy that will always be. He's kind of boom or bust. Like last week, Mike Evans had that bust game, and Antonio Brown had a big game. So it's going to be really tough to decide which two Tampa Bay wide receivers is going to be the go-to guys. So hopefully my video's not too choppy and my audio's good. So I apologize for the choppiness on the video, but as long as you guys can hear me, and that's the most important part. Shout out to everyone new in the chat. Jordy's in the chat. Connor in the chat. Chris and Austin, my boys. Roddy and Paz holding it down. Thanks a lot, guys. If you like this content and I'm going to respond to every single question today and give you my reasoning behind it, I need a glass of water because my mouth is dry. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming in. We appreciate you coming in on game day. Hopefully, we help you make those start decisions. I'm going to give you my reasoning, my start, but at the end of the day, that is what you got to do. You got to figure out what is best for you. I'll give you some context. If you're behind in a matchup, if you need a high upside play, or if you're favored to win, all that stuff helps. As long as whether you're in a PPR standard, half PPR league, all that information helps. So JJ, I would still go Clyde Edwards over AB in a half PPR league. AB does have, it feels like he has the ceiling where Clyde Edwards isn't necessarily needed in that Kansas City offense. So It's close, but I would go with the running backs. Running backs are just a little bit safer at the flex spot, but AB has the ceiling. So Jordy has the question. What's up, Jordy? Thanks for coming in. He's a gut feeling about Jacoby Myers. Outperform Mike Williams. Do I trust my gut? Number one, I'll say you should always trust your gut. My personal rankings will have Mike Williams keep on staying hot in that Chargers offense. I really like Mike Williams this week. So like I would go, if you're flexing, I would go Mike Williams and Myers and flex Myers over Ingram or Singletary. But if the Mark Ingram Singletary question is the running back only spot, that's a different story. So I like Mike Williams staying hot. He's got a great quarterback. Justin Herbert's phenomenal. And the O-line for the Chargers is so good that Justin Herbert is not getting hit, has lots of time to throw the football. And Mike Williams has been the beneficiary. I think he had 12 targets last game. So I would stay hot with Mike Williams. Myers is in a good spot against the Jets, no question. If you have a gut feeling about Myers, go with your gut, man. You don't want Myers to have a big 2-touchdown game, and you said, Landon from the snap really hurt me there, and Mike Williams didn't have the big blow-up game. I have Mike Williams higher, but if you have a good feeling about Myers, you got to go with it, dude. At the end of the day, maybe your gut's right there, and Myers has a big game. Between Mark Ingram and Devin Singletary, Jordy, I would go with Mark Ingram. Devin Singletary, now that Zach Moss is back, and they have, who's that other running back that's in the backfield there? Not Carlos Hyde, is it? Anyways, I can't recall who's getting more work for the Buffalo Bills. But Mark Ingram had 26 attempts last game. I don't see that happening again, Jordy, but I do think that Mark Ingram is the safer play in that offense. Surprisingly, I don't like either, to be honest. I don't like either guy. I would start both wide receivers over those two players at the flex. Connor is asking about Ayuk and Aguilar. So I'm not a big Aguilar guy, and I do believe in the talent of Ayuk. I would love to watch and see if Ayuk has that role back in that San Francisco offense. But in this case, man, I would just go with Ayuk over Aguilar and go for the ceiling, Connor. That's kind of where I lean. We doing some Snap merch? Yeah, maybe, Austin. We could do some Snap merch. We talked about getting mugs for the boys, but those minimums for those mugs is big. So we need maybe some. We got to figure out first how many Snap mugs we're willing to get. Maybe get a nice T-shirt or snapback. I think we must get a snapback hat eventually. It'll be only for premium subscribers though to even have a chance at getting some Snap merch. So Jacob has another question. Thanks for coming in. Connor's watching from Ireland. Connor, what's up? Ayuk over Callaway too. I would go Ayuk over Callaway. Yeah. So all those guys, I think Ayuk has the highest ceiling. I'm not a big fan of Aguilar. He could always have a big game. I get that, but I'm just not huge on Nelson Aguilar myself. Sorry, Jacob. Full PPR flex. James Robinson, Julio, Ayuk, Drake, Aguilar. I'm sitting down. Number one, I'm sitting down James Robinson, a full PPR league. He didn't have any usage week one. Drake, I'm also sitting down, and Aguilar, I'm sitting down. So between the two, it's going to be between Julio and Brandon Ayuk. I think that you go with Julio in a full PPR. I think they're going to force him the ball. Ayuk is a great guy, and I think closer to the middle of the season, you're going to be starting Ayuk every single week. But for now, while Julio's still healthy, quote unquote healthy, you go with Julio in a good matchup. I think that the Tennessee Titans have a big bounce back week. So yeah, thanks a lot, Connor, from watching from Ireland. Supreme Paz, my bad. All these players to choose from: Allen Robinson, Deontay Johnson, Robbie Anderson, Ayuk, Devonta Smith. Start 2. Allen Robinson is a must start, and then I think I go with Deontay Johnson over the rest. I do love Devonta Smith, and I think he has a good chance to be the number one in Philadelphia, but the passing game is going to be a little smaller. It's a smaller pie in Philly, than it is in Pittsburgh. I think this is the time to start your Pittsburgh wide receivers and Deontay Johnson is a PPR machine. He should get the most targets in that offense. Maybe, depending on, watch that game for Pittsburgh and check out Big Ben's arm. If it's looking bad and Deontay has a big game, that might be the chance to move Deontay Johnson, because it really, the offense and the fantasy points come and go with Big Ben. And if Big Ben arm is a noodle again like it was last year, I think that's the chance to sell high on Pittsburgh receivers, because you have 3 that are good, and Najee also commands targets. So that's 4 fantasy options that are fairly high that people are going to have a tough time starting each week to figure out. So if Deontay has a big game and looks like Big Ben has a dead arm, maybe it's time to sell Deontay, because you have some really good options with Robbie, Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Jordy, salute to Jordy. You like the little army guy coming in. Thanks a lot for subscribing, guys. Appreciate all of y'all. Before I keep going, don't worry, I'm going to get to every single question. We do have a YouTube membership, and a lucky member of our YouTube membership gets a signed Dalvin Cook jersey. One member, you have a really good chance. There's only like 7 guys in our YouTube membership, so if you want a chance to win a jersey, we're going to draw after the season, and you each month you're part of the YouTube membership. You get more and more tickets to be to win this contest. So it's only $5 a month. We're not trying to get rich here off YouTube membership. It's just to build our community and help the boys keep the lights on. We appreciate it if you want to join. You have weekly rankings. You have a chance to win that jersey. You have special emojis beside your name. You have we will answer your questions first out of anyone, and it's a great time. It's a great community to have in. We have some more. And also we do a live stream once a month to talk about your team specifically. I think that's the coolest perk. Once a month we're going to do like a Zoom call or Google Meet, and we can talk about your teams for an hour and figure out some trades, where you should go, where you should improve, how your team is looking. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So Mac and I, and maybe producer Scott as well, are going to help you with your team and Zoom call and chat and hang out. It should be a lot of fun. Maybe have some beers, whatever it is. It's going to be a ton of fun. So if you're a YouTube member, we're going to do that as well. Now let me get back to the questions, because I'm answering every single one today. We've got Evan in the chat here. Evan Rodriguez, Lamar Jackson versus the Chiefs or Trevor Lawrence versus the Broncos? Love the fact that, Evan, you put the matchup, so I don't have to look, because I don't memorize every single matchup this week, especially we normally have it on the stream. But I would go with Lamar. I would ride high with Lamar. Trevor Lawrence it's a pretty tough matchup against the Broncos. I think the Chiefs game should be a bit of a shootout, so I think Lamar has a good game. He has such a safe floor. Trevor Lawrence got his 51 attempts last week, but a lot of it happened in garbage time. So he did have 3 touchdowns, but it happened when the game was out of hand and it was a little bit of a shootout. So I think Lamar has a good chance of being a top-tier quarterback this week. So stick with your stud and Lamar, and then you've got Trevor Lawrence as the high-upside rookie coming in. Trevor looked great, so hang on to Trevor, but you got Lamar, and he is a stud. Matt Hill in the chat. What's going on, Matt? Thanks for coming by. He's got AJ Green or Mark Ingram in a full PPR league. Man, I don't really love either of those guys. I think if you're gonna start AJ Green, you might as well start him soon. I would prefer, honestly, if you check to see if Rondell Moore is on the waiver wire over AJ Green. Maybe Matt, if you want to jump in our Discord, you could share some stuff in there and figure out what you should do and who's on the waiver wire, and maybe you could have a better flex play over Mark Ingram or AJ Green. Let me know who else you have in a full PPR league. Mark Ingram doesn't really get very many targets, but he had the attempts. Maybe he still gets 20 plus attempts this week. If that's the case, Mark Ingram would be the play, because he has such a safe floor. So Mark Ingram it's probably Mark Ingram over AJ Green, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, Austin's a fan of Robinson. Yep, Robinson and Johnson. Yes, absolutely, Austin. I believe I agreed with you there. Supreme, yeah, you got it. Start the studs. Start your studs. Bucksar TV, what's going on? He's got Rodgers or Herbert. Oh man, that's tough. I was talking to my co-host Mac about the same very question. Man, this is tough, because I have Rodgers and Herbert back to back in my rankings. Herbert plays Dallas. I think that's a great game. Rodgers plays Detroit, also a phenomenal matchup. So this is going to be really tricky on where to go here. I do have Rodgers one spot ahead playing Detroit. I think he does have a bounce back game, but I think the floor, and I think Herbert also has a bounce back game. Both are good. So I would go Rodgers slightly ahead, but I think the ceiling plays with Herbert. So Bucks are, if you're down on the matchup and the guy had, say, a Terry McLaurin week 1 and you're projected to lose, go with the upside in Herbert. He could throw 4 touchdowns against Dallas. Could be a shootout game. But then Rodgers, I think, is who I would start if maybe you're ahead in that matchup. But both are close. Both are good one. So, yeah, that's what's up there. It's good. Both are good options. So, yeah. So there you go. So Austin's chiming in there. He has a tough matchup. I think you're right. I think the Dallas matchup could be really good. And, yeah, Detroit might not be in that game. And it could just be an Aaron Jones game. So that's a tricky one there. Austin's coming in. Prescott, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, A.J. Brown, C.D. Lamb, T.J. Hawkinson. He's naming the best players you could possibly have. Yeah, that's a good lineup there, Austin. That's a good lineup. Chris Timmons, Swift or AB at the flex. PPR projected to lose. He's projected to lose. So I would, Swift is, I would still go Swift in a PPR league. It projected to lose. There's that instance where AB has such a big ceiling, but again, they're playing Atlanta. If it's a bit of a shootout, it has a chance that AB has the biggest ceiling, where the Detroit Lions are projected to be down like crazy. And we saw what happened last week with the Niners being up early, and AJ and DeAndre Swift was super involved. So he'll be in and out of the backfield, making plays, running around. So I think I still go Swift. Karam, what's up, Karam? Thanks for coming by. Make sure to like and subscribe. We have 13 people liking. Make sure to like this video, and I'll answer every single question. So if you have really tough start-sit questions, I will get to every single one. It should be a lot of fun. Sorry, my video is a little bit choppy, but hopefully my audio is good and not too loud like last week. We do have a YouTube membership. If you click that join button at the bottom, it's only $5 a month and you get some great perks. We're giving away a Dalvin Cook signed jersey to a lucky winner, and we do a live stream with you every single month with every member in the community. And we can go over your full team, trades, your leagues. We can talk anything you want. We're going to sit, have a beer, get to know myself, Mac, producer Scott, and it's a ton of fun. We'll talk about everything. I can't wait to get involved. So if you want to be a YouTube membership, those are a couple perks. But if you like this live stream, thanks again for coming by. Sorry, Karam. Sorry, my dude. Tyson Williams, Robbie Anderson, Tyler Boyd. Pick one standard league. I think you go Tyson. You go the running back. Robbie had limited targets. He did have that touchdown, but he only had one reception, I think. 1 or 2 receptions. Tyler Boyd had a tough week. So I think you go Tyson Williams, and he's a report out of Baltimore is that they're going to go with the hot hand approach. He might get relegated by Latavius Murray a little bit, but I think Tyson looked really, really good. And if they're going with the hot hand approach, he should be the hot hand because he looked so good against Kansas City. Scotty, producer Scott, is asking, Jared Cook or Hunter Henry? I think it could be. So the question is about Jonnu Smith. He was banged up. I think he is active to play. If he was not active, I think you go Hunter Henry. But because he is, I think you go Jared Cook in a very good matchup, in probably a shootout matchup against Dallas. I am a big fan of Mike Williams, and I think he gets the touchdown, but there's also a good chance Jared Cook does as well. You might as well use Jared Cook while you still can, and he's the go-to tight end, rather than Hunter Henry being the 1A or 1B to Jonnu Smith. So, Scotty, I would go with Jared Cook this week. Good luck, my friend. Hopefully you enjoyed that Blue Jays game last night. Kenny Chap, thanks for coming in. Kenny, make sure to like and subscribe. We have 14 people watching. Make sure to like this video and answer your question because I get to every single one. Kenny's asking, he's got Julio, AJ Brown, or both. Yeah, I would go... If depends on who else you have, Kenny. Let me know who else you have playing. I have AJ Brown ranked higher, but you could definitely go both, especially if you have Tannehill. If you have both guys and Tannehill starting, man, throw all those chips in on the Tennessee Titans, and you are laughing. I think it's going to be a fun fun matchup. I have Tannehill ranked as my number 10 quarterback this week against Seattle. I'm a big fan of a bounce back game from A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, and the Tennessee Titans against Seattle. You're very welcome, Bucksar. Austin coming in tough. He's asking some questions. Derek Reyes, Derek, it's always a pleasure to have you in. I see your name every single week, so I appreciate you. He says pick one: Elijah Mitchell, Swift, DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel. Man, Derek, those are some tough choices. Typically I'm saying if you picked up Elijah Mitchell, you roll with him, but you have some really, really good options. So I've got DeAndre Swift this week as a top 20 running back, but between DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel. So, man, did you say if it's a PPR league, Derek? Let me know if it's a full PPR, half PPR. It makes a little bit of a difference, but I'll just go half PPR for now. So between Swift and I think I prefer Moore over Deebo Samuel. In a half PPR league, I would go with DJ Moore over DeAndre Swift. Against a possible shootout game in New Orleans. New Orleans defense is a little bit banged up, so I think I would go DJ Moore. But it's super close. So DJ Moore or you also have Deebo Samuel. Let me check my rankings here on who I would go with. Yeah, I would still go DJ Moore. So I pick one. I'm going DJ Moore. I think Elijah Mitchell has a ton of upside. Love that, but Trey Sermon could get involved as well. I think I just go DJ Moore. I think he's a great player, and I think he's a good chance. So everyone's coming in. I'm going to answer every single question. We have 14 to 11 people watching. Appreciate everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. We go live every single Sunday, and sometimes it might be 2 people in here. Maybe it's just me. Who knows? Paul, he's got Swift versus the Packers, a Cup versus the Colts. Worried to risk Swift with no backup for Monday. Yeah, good question. Yeah, so just go Cooper Kupp. Go Cooper Kupp. He says it's a PPR league. So I would go definitely start Cooper Kupp. His other running backs are Mixon and Montgomery. Yeah, you can sit Swift down again. I know Swift had a great big game this year, or last week, but I think you still have a ton of studs at that spot. So go with Cooper Kupp and those stud running backs. Paul, thanks for coming in, Paul. Like and subscribe. Stick around we're still on for another 45 minutes. Patty, what's up, Patty? Thanks for coming in. He's got Claypool, CEH, Cooks, or AB at the flex, PPR, but I already have Godwin starting. All right, so if you already have Godwin starting, I would just sit down AB. Don't worry about that. And I think I go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the flex spot. Chase Claypool's great, and I love Chase Claypool, but he'll have limited targets. And CEH, I think, still has a decent floor. So it does matter, Patty, if you're down in the matchup or up in the matchup. I think that Claypool has a higher ceiling than CEH, but I still like Clyde Edwards in a possible shootout game versus Baltimore. Baltimore gave up a lot of rushing, or a lot of yards in that game. So I think that CEH is a pretty good matchup. Supreme Paz is this is like my 3rd year playing fantasy. I'm in last again. Feels like the Giants starting off negative. Nah, man, you're good, Paz. You got you. Don't worry about it. You have some really good players. You had Najee and Aaron Jones. And I think I saw more of your team, and you have a great team. Keep on going. The best thing you could do is stay hot, stay in it, like Easy's emoji coming in there, and stay active. You could definitely go in there, and after this week you'll be 1-1, and then man, let's keep it going. You'll be hot. Lucius, what's going on, Lucius? He says pick 2 wide receivers. He's got Julio Jones, Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, or Sutton. You're very welcome. It's a half PPR league, so what I would probably go with Mike Williams and Deontay Johnson on those options here. Julio's great. I think he does have a bounce back game, but stay in the flames with Mike Williams and go for the number 1 target in Pittsburgh. So I'm going to wait to see on Julio and Sutton. Both are great guys. Both have a good chance to get a ton of targets. I think it's going to be tough with Julio Jones. If Julio Jones has a big game on your bench, that is the chance to sell Julio Jones. That's what I would do. because you have so many good wide receivers, maybe you sell Julio Jones for a good running back in return. So Lucius, make sure to join our Discord, and you can talk about in the redraft channel. Check out you can post trades on what kind of deals you get back for Julio Jones, and I like that deal because you have so many good wide receiver options right now. So Mike Williams and Deontay Johnson. Mike Williams stay in the Flames. And yeah, I think we got to figure out what to do with Sutton. I think I hope he has a great year, and he's the number one in Denver, and Teddy Bridgewater goes to him a ton, but I think Sutton still has a lot to prove this week. So I agree with Austin here. Jacob, what's going on? Jacob Ander is coming in as he has Drake, Tyson Williams, and James Robinson in a PPR league. I think I just go Tyson Williams in that option. Derek coming in, that's full PPR league. Salute to Paul. He's a new member, new subscriber. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming in. Yep. Austin's answering questions. Thank you. I agree with him there. We're on the same page, Austin. We got you. Griff in the chat. What's up, Griff? He's a YouTube member. So we have 13 people watching. We have 21 likes on this video. We do have a YouTube membership, guys. If you're coming in here and you're new, Kicks My Game is in here coming in. Good morning, sir. YouTube membership. It's only $5 a month. You have a chance to win a signed Dalvin Cook jersey. You also have a chance to you will be in a live stream, or not a live stream, a Zoom call, a Google Meet with the Snap Boys talking about your teams. Ton of fun. We're going to do an hour-long meeting, and we'll figure out everything you need to know to help you win your leagues, get some impact or get some feedback on what we would do, and it's a more personalized, interactive discussion we'll have. Kicks My Game coming in again. I need you to pick 4 of my 5. He's got Clyde, Henderson, Cup, Devonta Smith. My opponent is projected at 140, so I'm kind of leaning towards ceiling. Devonta and Deontay, but still scared. He's 1-0. So I would still go with your studs here, and that's Clyde, Henderson, Cup, and Deontay. If you want to get that ceiling play and go with Devonta Smith, you totally can. But I would still go with, I think Henderson has a good bounce back game too. I like Henderson a lot this week. He showed that he is the starter, and that what's his name, backup running back for LA really isn't a factor. So I would still go with Clyde, Henderson, and Cup, and Deontay Johnson. So you have too good of a team to be 2-0, man. I hope your opponent does not put up 140 on you. That would be tough. Dylan, what's up, Dylan? Thanks for coming by. I see your question there. Jacob also has another one. We have Sutton, Boyd, or Marvin Jones. That's a tough one. I think I would go with Cortland Sutton on that bounce back game. In a PPR league, I think it's closer for Tyler Boyd. I don't know. I'm not a big Marvin Jones fan, but he could be the number one option in Jacksonville. And he had a good game. So I mean, if you're running the good game, you stick with Marvin Jones. I'm just not a big Marvin Jones fan. I think it could be LaVisca and Chark getting the targets there. Hey, we already have 23 likes, Griff. You're behind on 18. 23 likes. Thanks a lot for coming by, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Join the YouTube community. It's only $5 a month. I'll be putting that out all day long. We still have another 40 some odd minutes of this live stream. So thanks a lot for coming by, guys. Mike K in the chat. Thanks a lot, Mike K. If you're not already a subscriber, I think you are. I think you're a subscriber already. Dylan, I think you are too. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button. That is free anyways. So yeah, I think a Sutton Jacob has the most upside being that number one, and a really good matchup against Jacksonville. I'm going to sit down Marvin Jones in a tougher matchup against Denver. And then Boyd, we'll see with Boyd. I think you got to sit him down until he proves that he can get those targets. Supreme Paz coming in. What made you come up with the name Snap? That's a very good question, Supreme Paz. We started as a Saturday only podcast. And our first iteration of the name was going to be Saturday Morning Spiral, with that alliteration coming in with the Saturday. But I was talking to Mac, and I came up with Saturday Morning Snap as kind of this, kind of our name. You can see my sign behind me was my beautiful girlfriend partner made that sign for me. So we used to be the Saturday Morning Snap. And that's kind of where it came. And then because we're a YouTube channel, we figured we should do the Snap Fantasy Football show, the Snap Fantasy Football YouTube channel, the Snap Fantasy Football podcast, and that's kind of it. It kind of just came by accident. There really isn't a great story behind it, but we've just rolled with it. Mac does a great job with the graphics. He's a phenomenal artist. Kicks my game, you're welcome. So that's kind of where we came up with the name. It's just a random thing that we were the Saturday morning guys. That was supposed to be our little niche, because Saturday there isn't much content getting put out. So we figured we both had a full-time job, and we wanted to do more and do a podcast and share our knowledge with everyone, because we talked about it all the time. So we figured, but now since we've grown and we're on YouTube and we're in there. Oh I see this now. Week 1 start set is still up on our graphic, but that's okay. Mac is slacking. So Dylan, what's up, Dylan? Thanks for sticking around. He's got a question similar to Jacob, a Chark or Sutton in the standard league. I think you go with Sutton because Chark has a tougher matchup, and just hopefully that Sutton gets those targets that we're projecting for him. I would love to wait and see with Cortland Sutton. I mean, if you want to go with ceiling and try, DJ Chark is a pretty okay play, and if you don't think that the Denver defense is that good, you can go with DJ Chark. If he had a good game last week, so hopefully he continues that up. But I believe in Cortland Sutton. I really hope he has a bounce back game. I have him, but I'm not starting him. I'm starting Mike Williams in my own lineup over him. So standard league, you don't get anything for PPR. Yeah, that's not real break behind me. Supreme, that's not real break behind me. I wish it was. Mike K, thanks for coming by, Mike. Flex Elijah Mitchell or Devontae Parker. Flex Elijah Mitchell, Mike. Appreciate you coming in. You picked up Elijah Mitchell off of waivers. You got to roll with the hot hand. Maybe he's the number 1 running back. He's a really great Raheem Mostert replacement for San Francisco. So I would go with Elijah Mitchell over Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker's in a tough matchup against the Buffalo Bills. Stuart, thanks for coming by, Stuart Rose. I appreciate you. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for coming in. He's got Rager or Claypool. Claypool is a safer bet, but I feel Rager is starting to unlock as a receiver. If you have a good feeling about Jalen Rager, hey man, you could totally go with him. I have Claypool ranked higher. I think Claypool has the higher ceiling as well. They both have similar, like, take it to the house off a slant. Like Rager, I think Rager is a good play, and I think he has a chance to unlock as a wide receiver. But Devonta Smith is still going to be the number 1 in Philadelphia, despite the fact that Rager looked good and looked good in preseason as well. But I would still sit on Jalen Rager until he's a very safe fantasy option, because I don't think he's very safe at all. It's going to be a tough time for Jalen Hurts, getting him enough targets to be safe. So still stick with Claypool. That's what I would do. If you have that good feeling about Jalen Rager, you could totally go with them, Stu. But I would stick with Chase Claypool. Stick with your stud in Claypool where you drafted him. And then if Rager goes off on your bench, that's a good thing. And then maybe you flip Chase Claypool or trade some players and upgrade at other positions. So thanks a lot, guys, for coming in. We have 11 people watching. If you haven't liked this video already, make sure to like this video. It's almost 12:30. Kicks my game. What are you going with, Trey Sermon versus Ayuk? I would go with Ayuk over Trey Sermon. I am very interested to watch that game, though, that San Francisco game, and see how Trey Sermon is going to be used. See if Ayuk is out of the doghouse a little bit, because I think he was disciplined for something interesting. I think they both were. I think Trey Sermon and Ayuk, I think, were disciplined for something weird. I don't know what it was, whether it was curfew or something with the team, a prank. I don't know what it was, but they got a slap on the wrist. I think they'll be back and being used more normally. If Ayuk is on the field, I think he gets targets. And Trey Sermon, being a higher draft pick than Elijah Mitchell, could see some work. But to start off this week, I think Elijah Mitchell is the guy, unless he really blows it. Like, he really has to blow it. He is more of the stereotypical running back for the Shanahan offense, that zone scheme running game. He has the speed. He's a very similar guy to Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert was an undrafted guy that got the opportunity. So Shanahan is willing to give low drafted, undrafted players a good chance to really make it work in that offense. So I think Sermon's going to be fine. He's going to be that between the tackles grinder, the change of pace guy, maybe the goal line back. So I think Sermon is a hold. He might even be a trade for candidate while you still can get him. So I don't mind this. So I don't have any more questions right now. If you guys don't have any more questions, I may log off. I've been going on for an hour so far. So if y'all don't have any more questions, I might stop the stream half an hour early. But let me know. I can stick around. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments on if you want me to keep the stream going right until 1 p.m. or should I stop a little bit early. I am available on Discord, so if you want to jump on the Discord, I could discuss with you any starts at options there as well. So let me know what you guys think, and we can get it going. So before I go, I will tell you to like and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this right now, we do have a YouTube membership that we are doing. It's only $5 a month. You got some great perks. You can win a Dalvin Cook jersey. I mentioned that earlier. You also have a 1 hour Zoom call with the Snap Boys to talk about your teams. There we go. Thundarius coming in here. Thanks for coming by, Thundarius. You saved the stream, my dude. You saved the stream. He's in a PPR league. He's currently starting CMC and Gaskin at running back, Deebo Samuel and Claypool in the flex, with Elijah Mitchell as a question mark. So, because you got Elijah Mitchell off of waiver wires and you don't necessarily want to start Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell. I mean, you can. It's not like you don't want to, but you can. I think you're starting the right players, but I would, if you want to go with pure upside, you could go Elijah Mitchell over Chase Claypool. But, man, it's hard to say. I think because you have CMC, you're probably favored in that matchup, and Clyde or Christian McCaffrey could go for 40 points if he gets in the end zone a couple times. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibilities for I keep wanting him to call him Clyde Edwards-Helaire. For Christian McCaffrey, CMC. The safe play is who you have starting. But since you picked Elijah Mitchell off waivers, I think you could go for the high upside play, Elijah Mitchell. Thanks, Griff, for throwing the link out everywhere. Appreciate that. I'll stick around. I don't care. Yeah, we'll chat with you guys in the comments here for a little bit. So yeah, I would stick with your starting lineup, but if you want to go with pure upside play, you're probably going to win no matter what with that really good lineup. So go Elijah Mitchell over Chase Claypool for a high upside play, and hopefully he gets 100 plus yards all purpose and gets in the end zone. So yeah, it's close. I do go Deebo and ride the hot hand with Deebo over Claypool, but go Elijah Mitchell over Chase. But either way, I don't mind that. Oh yeah, that's a great play to you had Mostert, so you grabbed Mitchell to replace him. So I like that play. Man, he went for a ton of fab. He went for $60, $70, $80 going in there. We got some more comments. Thanks for coming by, guys. I appreciate YB, Thundarius, Griff, Easy, keeping the chat going. I'm willing to stick around as long as we need to. So I'm good. I'm good chatting with you guys. I'm good chatting with y'all. I can go over my DraftKings lineups. I don't mind doing that at all too. Thanks, Griff, for throwing the chat around. Stuart Rose is asking if Tannehill and Lawrence thoughts. I would go Tannehill over Lawrence. Lawrence is in a tough matchup against Denver. Stu, you already knew that, but I understand the hesitation of going Ryan Tannehill again after he didn't really show out week 1. But I still have Tannehill as my number 10 ranked quarterback over, surprisingly, Jalen Hurts and Matt Stafford. So I think, although maybe I should lean Matt Stafford over Tannehill, I still think that that Tannehill is a top 12 quarterback because he has a good matchup this week against Seattle. It could be a bit of a shootout. in that matchup. And Tannehill does not stay down long. He's a good quarterback, and he has a chance to get a rushing touchdown as well. That play action. Everyone on TV on the stands thinks that Derrick Henry is going to get that touchdown work, but it turns out that it's Tannehill going with the bootleg, keep it himself, and fools everyone. So I think Tannehill is the play here. But thanks for the question, Supreme. You're sticking us around, so we will answer every single question. We got more guys in the chat. Wesley, thanks for coming by, Wesley. YB, what's going on? So I got a tough one for you, fam. Ronald Jones or Devin Singletary? Oh, YB, you're killing me. You said it's a tough one, and that is a tough one. Oh, YB. Singletary with Zach Moss back active. YB, what are you doing? What you doing like this? Ronald Jones or Devin Singletary? Why you gotta hit me like this? Dang. All right. Whew. All right. Ronald Jones plays Atlanta. YB. Singletary plays Miami. It's a good matchup. The Buffalo Bills always plays Miami strong. So what do you do? I think they're very, very close. They're that fringe play running backs. I'm watching myself on the stream reacting to this again. We don't know the usage between Singletary and Zach Moss is pretty uncertain, and the usage between Ronald Jones and Lenny, playoff Leonard Fournette is interesting. So Ronald Jones got put in the doghouse a little bit for fumbling last week, but he has been forgiven in the media and by his coach. So I think it's super close. I'm not sure what to do here, if Zach Moss was benched for a reason, or whether he was disciplined, or whether it's just that Devin Singletary is the guy. So I think that Ronald Jones has a good chance of being the play. So I would go Ronald Jones by a little, but it's super, super close, man. It's super, super close. I think it's almost a coin flip. You could easily go Singletary because of a very good plus matchup versus Miami. That's super close. I would flip a coin. Whatever you do, don't watch either game. Don't watch the Tampa Bay Atlanta game. Don't watch the Buffalo Miami game, and just roll the dice and figure it out. Hopefully one of those guys falls into the end zone and figures it out. So we got more questions. Love it, guys. Thanks for coming in. Alonzo, Stu, Wesley, Thundarius, YB. Hopefully you liked that reaction to that terrible question, YB. Thundarius, I've got Kittle too. Not a Niners fan, but how the draft worked out, Thundarius. Yeah, that makes it tough. If you're starting Debo, Mitchell. So in that case, man, if you're starting Kittle, just go with Debo and Claypool. And just hedge a little bit, or start Claypool over Debo and flex Elijah Mitchell. I do not want to start 3 49ers in that matchup. So yeah, if that's a tough one, Thundarius, my dude. Hopefully you're new to the channel. Like and subscribe. I appreciate all the questions, guys. It's only half an hour until game time, so you guys are sticking with me. I can't wait to watch the games. If you want to join our Discord, we will be up there and on there quite a bit, answering questions, talking about the games, all that stuff. We have a based on what happens in the game, so we'll be live reacting on Discord if y'all want to be in on that. Wesley coming in here. Henderson or Deontay Johnson? At the flex, Wesley, what is it? Is it a full PPR league, half PPR league, standard league? In a standard league, I might go with Henderson. Full PPR, you could definitely lean Deontay Johnson, but Henderson, I think, does provide a safer floor, and he's a guy that I think has a really good bounce back week. I have Darrell Henderson in as a RB2 this week, so I think he's gonna be pretty good. He's gonna be pretty good this week. Stewart is talking about, my fear was a heavy lean on Henry because of last week. I'm right to stick. Yeah, I mean it's a tough one, Stu. It could be. I mean, they might lean on Henry again, no question. But we've seen that Tannehill and Henry both can have good weeks together. I mean, Henry could have a 3 to 4 touchdown game. If that's the case, that is definitely not good for your shares of Tannehill. But I'm expecting Tannehill to throw 2 to 3 touchdowns and be a very safe option. I'm gonna have a little drink of water before I answer more questions. Alonzo Castro, thanks for coming in. High upside for today. Everett, Komet, or Shaughnessy? I like Everett. This week. I'm playing Everett in some DFS lineups, and if we have time, I'll go over some of my DFS lineups and my ownership there. YB, you're welcome. Waddle or Gaskin, full PPR? Gaskin for the floor, Waddle for the ceiling. Ha, see what I did there? I tricked you to make you make that decision. Waddle I like a lot. Waddle I'm a big fan of, and I think they're going to manufacture touches for him. But Gaskin definitely has a good safe floor. I have Gaskin as my RB22 versus Buffalo. Buffalo really did shut down the Pittsburgh Steelers by a lot last week. Both that game was kind of a defensive struggle. So I think Gaskin still gets the majority of the workload and is a safe PPR option. Probably gets, I would say, 5 or 6 targets, maybe 4 receptions, kind of thing. So he doesn't have a safe PPR floor, but he has a safe floor based on the rushing attempts. Eric is asking, should I sit Eckler game based on your week 1 advice? Chirps, yeah, I know. We weren't sure the workload that Eckler was going to get coming out week 1. All signs point to him being limited, and he only had 1 target and no receptions. So I expect Eckler to have a good bounce back week. Salute Thundarius, new subscriber. See that? Love that, guys. Love that. Should I go ahead and stash Trey Lance or Fields? I have Tony Jones on my bench, but that's if Alvin goes down. I like both of those guys. Paz, I've got those guys stashed everywhere. Trey Lance and Fields in a Dynasty Superflex league. I like stashing those guys, but it depends on your quarterback. If you have one of those stud top 12 quarterbacks, I wouldn't worry about stashing them. So if you have a Lamar, a Herbert, a Rodgers, Dak, Allen, Brady, Wilson, all those guys, don't worry about stashing. But if you have a Baker Mayfield type, if you have a Teddy Bridgewater type for some reason, then you definitely stash one of those rookies. Alvin Kamara, you do have, it's tough. It's nice to have a handcuff if the starter goes down, and you're going to be kicking yourself for dropping Tony Jones if something happens to Alvin. But it's hard to have that like roster spot as a just in case. It's really, really tough. You might as well. It limits your upside of your bench, and it's really tricky. It's that kind of a wasted. It's a bench clogger. It's the roster clogger. Having a backup running back like having Alexander Madison on your bench. You can't. He's too good to drop, but he's a safety blanket if he's available. So, Wesley's talking about it's a full PPR league. Wesley, Henderson, or Deontay. So I think I would potentially leans Deontay getting more targets. Thanaris, you're welcome for the advice. Appreciate you. We got destroyed week 1 because of Mostert and Ridley. Yeah, and playing the most points. Yeah, it's tough, man. Really tough. Alonzo TE question is on the PPR league. Playing against Terry Hill Chubb this week. Yeah, need to go big. I still like Everett this week. I'm pretty sure that was your question. Cole Kmet is a guy I like generally, but it's hard to say. I don't think either. I think Everett still has the most upside. Alonzo, out of those guys. Zach Foster. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Callaway didn't work out last week, but still got the W. Now this week, I'm torn. Sit 1. Robbie Anderson, Antonio Callaway, or Tim Patrick. Full PPR league, I would just still sit Tim Patrick. I know you probably just picked Tim Patrick up off the waivers, and where you drafted Antonio Callaway, you should still want to start him. I don't love any of those guys, honestly, Zach. Congrats on still getting that win last week, because Robbie Anderson had the one big reception. Antonio Callaway got shut down by Jair Alexander, but they're not playing the Packers this week. So I think Callaway should get a bounce back week. I would sit down Tim Patrick. I'm not willing to trust him yet. We'll see this week. They have a really good matchup against Jacksonville, but I think that Cortland Sutton gets the work. So thanks a lot for coming by, guys. Zach's in there. Nicholas in there. Kobe dropped 81 in there. What's up? Alexander. Thanks for coming by, Alexander. Delta Blade. All you guys. Christopher. La Rosa coming in the chat. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming in. Make sure to like this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to our channel. We have a YouTube membership. Right down below, there's that join button. What that is, oh, Claire's in the chat too. What's up, Claire? Appreciate you guys. Claire is the best fantasy player in this chat, but she always comes for the advice because I appreciate her coming in. She also joined the Discord. We have that join button down below. What that is, it's a $5 a month membership. We are giving away a Dalvin Cook jersey to one lucky YouTube member. So each month that you're subscribed, you get more entries to win that jersey. And we also do a Zoom call for everyone that's a YouTube member as well. So if you want to do a 1-hour personalized Zoom call with all the YouTube members coming in, we will answer very personalized questions about your team, your league, look at some possible trade candidates and where to improve your team. Those are the kind of memberships we have. We have some guys coming in already. You can see the little emblem beside their name. You get custom emojis, all that stuff. And Austin, I am from Canada. I'm Canadian as well. So hopefully you guys can trust my Canadian advice. And Nicholas is asking about Mayfield or Lamar PPR. Don't like the matchups. I like Baker this week, but I prefer Lamar. Lamar versus Kansas City could be a shootout game, Nicholas. So I still like Lamar, even though his team is getting banged up. I like Lamar in a full PPR league. Doesn't really matter if it's a PPR league or not. Kobe dropped 81. What's up? RIP Kobe. Love that guy. Winston or Josh Allen. I would go Josh Allen. Josh Allen is definitely in a bounce back week at Miami. The Buffalo Bills play Miami really, really tough. So I think that you got to start with Josh Allen. And then maybe you can trade Jameis Winston after that big 5-touchdown game. He only had like 20 attempts. And so he's not going to have that kind of efficiency again. Kobe dropped 81. So I would go with your stud, Josh Allen, and stick with that. Alexander Garcia Osuna. What's going on, my dude? He's got Julio Jones and Devonta Smith in there. Those are two tough choices. I think Devonta Smith has a ton of upside and ceiling, but I think that Julio Jones has a good bounce back game. I do like the matchup versus Seattle. It could be a bit of a shootout there. So I would go with Julio Jones. And what advice I gave earlier, Alexander, is that if Julio has a big game, look to trade him because Julio's been banged up quite a bit. It looks like A.J. Brown is going to be the number one target in that offense, and it's a fairly low passing volume offense. So if Julio Jones has a big game while he's still healthy, look to move Julio Jones and maybe upgrade at the wide receiver or tight end position, something like that. If you want help with your trades, join the Discord or join the YouTube membership. Both can get you that. Christopher, what's going on, buddy? He's got Corey Davis, AJ, or Antonio Brown, Elijah Mitchell, or Damian Harris. Pick two in a PPR league. I would go with Elijah Mitchell and Antonio Brown. I do like the matchup for Damian Harris against the New York Jets, but I think since you picked up Elijah Mitchell and probably dropped a bunch of money on him, you go with Elijah Mitchell. And then Antonio Brown's in a really good matchup, two in a shootout game, and it's a full PPR league, so AB should be good. Man, you have some really good guys on the team. It's going to be tough every single week to start the guys, so maybe package a couple of them and upgrade at the position, like get a DK Metcalf or a Terry McLaurin or an absolute stud for a team that really needs help with the running back position. So you can move a Damian Harris if he has another good game, or combine Damian Harris and Corey Davis together and then upgrade. So that's the kind of stuff I would like to see, and then you can really help those starting positions and really don't have this really tough start-sit every single week. Delta Blade 21, would you sit James Robinson in a standard flex league for Tim Patrick? Holy man, that's a tough one. James Robinson did not get a ton of work this week one. He scares me to death. But Tim Patrick, I still want to see more from Tim Patrick before I can start him. He does have a good matchup. I know he caught a touchdown last week. So I would probably I would still start James Robinson in a tough matchup in a standard flex position over Tim Patrick. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Jameis MVP, maybe. It's pass, maybe. Thunder is currently rocking Wilson, CMC, Gaskin, Ridley, Keenan Allen, Kittle, Debo, Claypool, Myers, and AZ defense. Yeah, that's locked and loaded. Claire, what's going on, Claire? I already gave you a shit out, but thanks for coming by, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Full PPR, close matchup. Who do I flex? Daryl Henderson or Mike Williams? Man, see, this is why she's the best. She's got two really good options here in a full PPR league. I got to consult my rankings here and my projections. I really do like Mike Williams this week. I think he has a great matchup, but I also have a very good feeling about Daryl Henderson. So it's possible that you don't really have a bad option, Claire. So I would go against a possible shootout, high upside, close matchup. You need the ceiling. You go with Mike Williams in a PPR. I will be crossing my fingers for Mike Williams, hoping that he has a big game. So I'm going for Mike Williams. I think Daryl Henderson does have the safest floor. It looks like Leonard is potentially out for the Indianapolis Colts. I need to vet that, but I think Daryl Henderson has a good matchup as well, or a good game. So, man, it's tough, but I would go Mike Williams by a little bit in a shootout game versus Dallas, getting all those targets week 1. I just ride the hot hand with Mike Williams, Claire. So thanks for coming by, guys. We have lots more questions. I'm going to get to every single one. Make sure to like this video. Let's get it to at least over 30 likes. 30. Can we get to 40 likes in 15 minutes? Can we do that, guys? Can we do that? Can I get one more YouTube member? What do you think? Can we get one more YouTube member to come in and join? It's only $5 a month. Can we do that before the end of the stream? Supreme Baz, do we think that Curtis Samuel will be good as he was last year when he comes back? Not too worried about Heineke throwing his way. No, Heineke looked great. I think that, who was it that had a good game? It was who was Washington? Whoever that was, that white receiver for Washington that had a good game. Humphreys had a great game. And I think that's the role that Curtis Samuel will get. So I would still want to see Curtis Samuel come back and play well, but you might need to, you'll add him and then have to sit him for a week or two before you can really trust him. I'm not going to stash Curtis Samuel myself, but I think he will have a pretty decent outlook. But the problem is we have J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson getting targets out of the backfield. Terry McLaurin is locked and loaded as the number 1. So I'm not in love with Curtis Samuel personally, Paz. Fame Tiger, hey, I have Eckler and Carson at running back and Diggs and Hopkins at wide receiver. I'm in a 12-team league. Pick one for the flex. Debo, Godwin, Corey Davis, Chenault, Robbie Anderson, CEH, or Damian Harris. Man, your team is man, that's such a good team in a 12-man league. That's crazy. I'll go Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin in that spot. That's phenomenal. What a great team. Wow, Fame Tiger. That's whew. Dang. Ben Schuler. What's up, Ben? Thanks for coming in. Hines, LaVisca, or Gronk the flex? I would go with LaVisca. I think he has a good game. I like LaVisca Chenault. It would be LaVisca, Hines, Gronk at the flex. YB, one more roster question. I win 0 running back draft strategy. Devontae Adams, Hopkins, AJ Brown, Godwin, and Michael Thomas. Love that. Once Thomas gets back week 7, should I start shopping around for wide receivers? Yeah, I would start shopping Michael Thomas now if you can. I would start shopping Michael Thomas now because you don't need him. You will never need him. If you have questions about trades, join our Discord or join our YouTube membership. 33 likes, guys. Can we get to 40 likes before the end? Only 12 minutes. Claire is tuning in from a senior dog hike with my phone. Claire, you are a beauty. Love her. She is awesome. She's a great gal. Can we get to 40 likes before 1 p.m.? Only 12 minutes. Austin, I'm a big hockey guy. I like hockey. I never played hockey growing up, Austin, but I am a big hockey guy. Leafs fan, Toronto Maple Leafs. Don't hold that against me, guys, though. I have a Eric Stahl jersey right behind me. He's a hometown boy from Thunder Bay, Ontario. That's where I'm from. Louis, should I start Tyler Boyd over Mike Williams or Jarvis Landry? No, start Mike Williams and Jarvis. Stick with that, Louis. Love that. G coming back in. GDS, what's going on? DJ Moore, Kareem Hunt, Brandon Cooks at the flex, full PPR. Go DJ Moore. Tate Fitzgibbons, what's up, Tate? Thanks for coming in. Make sure to like this video. Can we get to 40 likes? 6 more likes to get this video, you guys. You guys are awesome. Antonio Brown or Deontay Johnson at wide receiver 2, full PPR. It would be, man, it's close. I really like both guys. I think I have a good feeling about AB having another big game. He could get double-digit targets, but I would go Deontay Johnson in a full PPR. Sean Fitzgerald, what's going on? He's got Naheem Hines or James Robinson as my RB2. It's a full PPR league. In a full PPR league, I lean Naheem Hines by a hair. James Robinson didn't get any work week 1. Hated that. So sit down James Robinson until he proves that he can get the full workload. I don't trust Urban Meyer, and now Carlos Hyde is getting worked in a lot more. So because it's a full PPR league, I think Naheem Hines is safe as it gets. Go with Naheem Hines by a little bit, my dude. Jacob, Sutton, or Boyd, full PPR. Let's go with Sutton. I agree with Austin. On a Heater is asking super flex. On a Heater, sorry, my chat skipped on me. Super flex, PPR, pick 2 from my flex. Dev, Parker. Okay, Devontae Parker versus Buffalo, Watkins versus Kansas City, Tonyan versus Detroit, Cook versus Dallas, Drake versus Pittsburgh. Oh man, that's really tough. Pick 2 of them. I would go, I guess. Is it like a tight end premium league on a Heater? I don't like Drake really. Man, but that's really, really tough. I don't really like any of these options. Devontae Parker's gonna have a tough matchup getting shadowed versus Buffalo, so I don't really lean that way. Watkins had a decent game 1, but he always has a good game 1. So maybe it's gonna be, maybe it's Kenyon Drake versus Pittsburgh. Maybe that's a tough one though. With Jacobs out, it could be Drake and Tonyan. Drake and Tonyan. Man, that's tough. That's really tough on a Heater. Join our Discord to help that out, and make sure to I don't know the times of those games, whether they're 1 o'clock games or not. I don't like starting tight ends at the flex position because they're so volatile. But you have some decent ones. Tonyan could have upside. Yeah. Jacob, Ander, Drake, Tyson Williams, or James Robinson. Go with Tyson Williams. Mixon or Carson, PPR. Let me check my rankings really quick. I've got Mixon by a little bit, but Carson's in a good spot too. Fix my flex, Pascal or Amara St. Brown. Pascal. Thanks for subscribing, Fame Tiger. Appreciate you. Ayuk or AJ Dillon the flex. TXNDRA3. I would go Ayuk. Thanks for guys. Okay, 37 likes, guys. Let's get to 40 likes by 1 o'clock. I'm going to answer every single question. This is going to be rapid fire. Help you guys out here. Gator fan 15, what's up? Sit 2, CEH, Taylor, Robbie Anderson, Andrews, Claypool. Sit Robbie Anderson and then sit Mark Andrews, I guess, and start Claypool over Andrews. Corey, thanks for coming by, Corey. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. You get a little emoji up on the screen if you subscribe. Sutton, Claypool, Damian Harris, half PPR flex. I would go Claypool over everyone there. Damian Harris has the safest floor, though. I like Sutton this week, but you have better options. So floor play is Damian Harris. The start I would go with is Claypool. A-Train 31, a couple questions. Robinson or Fournette, standard league. Really tough option. I'll probably go Fournette. I don't love it. I don't like the usage in Robinson. He might have a bounce-back game. But I think Fournette has a decent floor as well and a very good matchup against Atlanta. See, there we go. Salute. See that? Tate Fitzgibbons with the subscribe. Appreciate you for coming by. Fundarius still in the chat. Sitting here in a battle jersey from the Mean Machines, Longest Yard. Lifelong Chiefs fan. What's going on? Appreciate you. Thanks for coming by. A-Train and Parker or Renfro. He's got Parker and Renfro. Yeah, I think it doesn't really make a difference in a standard league. A-Train, I still slightly lean Fournette, but I think Robinson is close too. If you think Robinson is going to bounce back in a kind of a tricky matchup against Denver, you go Robinson. But Fournette, who knows, man? It's tough, really tough. If Aaron Jones fumbles again, Fournette could get all the work. Colton Cash, Chark or Beasley half PPR. I would go Beasley. In another league, he's got Waddle, Gaskin, or Chark half PPR. I would go with probably Waddle or Gaskin half PPR. Oh man, it's close. Maybe Waddle for the upside, Gaskin for the floor. Sorry, he have to start T in the flex. So then yeah, I would. So on a heater, it's not tight end premium. Gator fan, let me find your question again. Gator fan, go Andrews then. Yeah, if you have to start a tight end, go Andrews. Sure. Haven't heard of that kind of league. Daffy, I haven't seen your name before. Christos, haven't seen your name before. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Can we get to 40 likes? 2 more likes on the video to get to 40 likes. You can do that. We have 6 minutes before kickoff. I'm gonna check my lineup before I sign off here. He need a flex, Daffy. He's got Gaskin, Corey Davis, Cole Beasley, or Brandon Cooks. Is it a PPR, half PPR league? Christos is Ayuk can be a start in a full PPR league. Depends on who else you have. So let me know, guys. You have 5 minutes to let me know if it's a full PPR, half PPR, and then Christos if you have other or better options versus Ayuk. But I think he's a good start. So I would straight up, if it's a half PPR league, I probably go with Cole Beasley in a really good matchup. It would go Cole Beasley, Brandon Cooks, Corey Davis, Gaskin. Gaskin is probably the safest floor at a tough matchup against Buffalo. But yeah, it's super close there, Daffy, with those flex positions you got there. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining in the channel. I'm going to sign off right now. Christos, Ayuk is a flex. He definitely is a flex. It just depends on who you have in front of him. But yeah, that's it, guys. So thanks a lot for coming in. We have 41 likes. You guys did it. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join our Discord. Colton Cash, last question. I got you. Antonio Brown, Damien Harris, or Robert Woods, half PPR. I'll go Robert Woods, Colton. It's a full PPR. So yeah, Cole Beasley is even better. Cole Beasley is even better in that option. I think he gets the most targets as the number 2 in Buffalo. Gator fan, so you don't have to start tight end, but if you do, you have to start them in the flex. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I would, if I don't have to start tight end, I won't. Gangsta Boy YT, last question of the day. Hey guys, I need 2 for the flex out of Christian Kirk, Devonta Smith, Trey Sermon, Gabriel Davis, Van Jefferson, Marquez Callaway. I would go with Devonta Smith number 1 and go with Marquez Callaway number 2. Last question of the day. Make sure to like on your way out. So subscribe to the channel, join our Discord, join our YouTube membership. One lucky YouTube member is going to win a signed Dalvin Cook jersey. Hopefully he's on your team and your fantasy MVP. We have other perks. If you have more questions, always reach out to me. We are snap_fantasy on Twitter and Instagram. And thanks and good luck, everyone, for game 2. If you join our Discord, we can communicate and talk about some game day chat. So I'm going to jump in and stop the stream. But thanks so much, guys, for coming by. I appreciate everyone. And hopefully you like this content. Hopefully you win your matchups week 1. We have 1,200 subscribers now. This was a great day to get subscribers. And I